This video will show you how to use the correct method to add two numbers together that have 5 or more digits in Year 5. The first step is to set out your calculation like mine is on the screen, ready for your column addition. After you've done that, you need to make sure you write your numbers in. So the first number we've got is 53,749. We then need to make sure we write our addition symbol here, because that reminds us of what we are doing. And our second number, which we are going to write underneath, is 34,853. Now that we have carefully written our numbers underneath each place value heading, we are going to add them together. We start with the lowest value in our calculation, which today is our ones column. So 9 add 3 is 12. I'm going to exchange my 1 there and write my 2 in my ones. Then I can move on to my tens. 4 add 5 is 9. Remembering to add on this one from earlier is 10. So again, I'm going to exchange and then write my 0 in the tens column. In my hundreds, I've got 7 and I'm going to add 8 on, which is 15. Adding on my 1 that I exchange, 16. We can move on to the thousands now. 3 add 4 is 7. Add on the 1 is 8. You've always got to remember those exchanged numbers at the bottom. Finally, 5 add 3 is 8. So the answer to this question is 88,602. In Year 5, we also need to add numbers which have decimals in them. So you will see you need to set up your question exactly the same as you did for non-decimal numbers. However, we've got a decimal point here and we have some extra place value columns like our tenths and our hundredths. Writing these above your calculation will really help you to get your numbers in the right place. The first thing I'm going to do is my first top tip here, which says to line up your decimal points first, even in your answer. So my decimal points need to stay in the same column. They cannot move and be elsewhere. So the first thing I'm doing is writing them all in so that I don't forget any of them. And then I'm ready to write my numbers. My first number is 3,000. So I'm making sure I'm writing that in my thousands column. 845.8. My next number that I'm adding on, so remembering to write my addition symbol, is 435.14. So I'm being very careful here to make sure that I write my numbers in the correct place. 435.14. Now my second top tip before we start actually adding these numbers together is to remember placeholder zeros. So in this gap in my thousands and in this gap in my hundredths column, I'm just going to draw a placeholder 0 so that I remember there is nothing there in those columns and so that I don't get confused. We always start with our smallest value in column addition, which is our hundredths for this question. So we are going to do 0 add 4, which is 4. Then we can move on to our tenths. We are going to be doing 8 add 1, which is 9. Now my decimal point is already there, so I don't need to worry about that. I'm not going to forget it. 5 add 5 now, which is 10, so I need to exchange and write my 0 in my ones column. 4 add 3 is 7. Remembering to add on my exchange number is 8 altogether. 8 add 4 is 12, so I need to exchange and write my 2 in here, in my hundreds column. And then in our thousands, we've got 3 add 0 is 3, adding on our exchanged one from earlier, 4 altogether.